everybody, and welcome back to our channel. Today we have a fun adventure ahead of us as we explore Umbala, a new section of the Ragnarok X, as well as a few added items towards the end. To reach our new map, we must first go to the Komodo Caves in order to find the portal. It's here in the southwest corner of the Komodo Caves. As we exit the portal, we are transported to the Humga Forest. Welcome to the rainforest, where wooden pathways run all through the area and big, beautiful trees have been growing for hundreds of years. The area is green and full of life. What beautiful tree houses to explore too. Next, we'll be transported to the Kalala Swamp. The area is luminescent with flowers glowing bright blue and pink and deadly-looking poisonous mushrooms. Explore the water's edge and the vines that hang from the trees. There is a bit of warmth coming from the homes within the swamp, but look out for those plants. They look deadly poisonous with their luminescent glow. Next, we're taken to the Luluka Forest. A large tree marks the center of this area. It has a glowing blue orb at its base and stunning blue leaves, which make it look beautiful and magical. As we explore the surrounding forest, we find shining, brilliant trees that almost look like they're made out of pink gemstone. In another area, we find mossy covered trees with little tree houses littered throughout. Next, we will visit the city center of Umbala, which continues the wooden pathways from the Humga Forest, but takes it to the next level as we go higher and higher up into the trees, with shops and NPCs all far above the forest floor. Now we enter the Kingdom of the Dead, or Nilfheim, which could be the setup for a good Halloween movie. The scene is set with jack-o'-lanterns, spooky houses, bats flying through the air, and torn sheets and banners around the town. Couldn't you just see this town being run by a gaggle of witches? When you wander away from the center of town, you're met by a bright blue moon and a surprising icy mountain pathway, which leads us to our next area, the Nameless Island. Here in the Nameless Island, the setting is a cathedral, surrounded by graves and foggy flat areas filled with monsters. There are broken and ancient ruins, along with a small town with boarded up buildings running rampant with monsters. Lastly, we enter the Ghost Canyon. There are many pathways to this area, but you'll have to brave the monsters that reside there. Check out the amphitheater here too. It looks ready for boss fights and epic monster battles. The houses here will remind you of the Kingdom of the Dead with their pointy roofs and their spooky qualities. Just in time for Halloween. Now that we've explored the map of Umbala together, I want to introduce you to the monsters which call this land home. We will go through these monsters area by area, but the first few monsters we meet live in the Humga Forest. First up, Driller. These guys are so cute. They look like tiny baby dinosaurs. Oh, I just can't get over it. The Driller have final magical penetration plus 8% and magic lifesteal plus 8%, and their card can be used for weapons. Next, we have the Dryad. This is a unique combination of plant and forest fairy, with roots for feet and leaves plumed like peacock feathers behind them. The Dryad has final physical penetration plus 16%, and its card can be used for headgear. Next up, we have the Wooden Golem. These are living trees with what look like mushroom appendages. With those big mouths, they look like they're hungry. I hope I'm not their next snack. They have HP regeneration for 5 seconds plus 2.5% and PvP final physical damage reduction plus 5.6%. And their cards can be used for clothes. Last for this area, we have the Stone Shooter. With a fire like that in their bellies, I'm not sure how these living trees don't burn up, but their power to confuse must help them in a fight. They have final physical damage bonus plus 16%, and their card can be used for weapons. Next up, we'll look at monsters from the Kalala Swamp. First is the Beetle King. Watch out, these beetle crab hybrids will scurry up to you so fast you won't know what hit you. They have physical damage bonus plus 1,920 and PvP physical damage bonus plus 240, and their card can be used for weapons. Next, the Wooten Shooter. These zombie orangutans have some sick slingshot skills. I'd watch out if I were you. They have final magical penetration plus 16%, and their cards can be used for headgear. Wooten Fighter. These are red baboons with bad attitudes. You better watch out. They have bonus damage to fire attribute monsters plus 12%, and bonus damage to poison attribute monsters plus 12%, and their cards can be used for accessories. Next up are the monsters in the Luluka Forest. First is the Choco. These guys remind me so much of Curious George. It's like Curious George just entered the game. They're so cute. They have bonus damage to Brute plus 12% and physical damage reduction plus 1,536, with their cards being used for a cloak. Next up, the Dragon Tail. This name really made me think of like a fire-breathing dragon, but they're just giant dragonflies with brilliant colors. They have bonus damage to insects plus 12% and magic damage reduction plus 1,536, and their card can be used for cloaks. Last up in this area is the Parasite. Don't let these girls fool you with their cute looks. They are lean, mean fighting machines. They have bonus damage to Earth attribute monsters plus 12% and bonus damage to Ghost attribute monsters plus 12%, and their cards can be used for accessories. Next up, in the Kingdom of the Dead, or Niflheim, we have the Hellhound. It's a good thing these guys have some fiery warmth to them, or else these demon dachshunds would freeze to death in this mountain pass. They have physical attack plus 16%, and their cards can be used for headgear. Next up, Medusa. As you would expect, she is shrouded in snakes, but with a turtle twist. An interesting choice for a mount, but maybe their hard shells protect them from the reptilian hair of Medusa. Medusa has petrifying resistance plus 36% and max HP plus 12.8%, and their card can be used for shoes. Last up in this area is the Loli Ruri. These witches have exchanged their broom mounts for the moon. Beware of their familiars flying around too. These witches have HP regeneration per 5 seconds plus 2.4% and PvP magical damage reduction plus 5.6%, and their card can be used for clothes. Next up is the Nameless Island. Here we find the Flame Skull. It's not a very original name when you look at the monster, but definitely scary enough to make me give it a wide berth if I'm not up for a fight. These guys have final physical damage reduction plus 8% and physical damage reflection plus 8%, and their card can be used for weapons. Banshee. Cloaked in violet and flower petals, these creatures are more beautiful than their name would lead you to think. But don't lose your senses. Their red eyes tell you the truth of their intentions. The Banshee has bonus damage to wind attribute monsters plus 12% and bonus damage to shadow attribute monsters plus 12%, and their card can be used for weapons. Zombie Slaughter. They may look unsteady on their feet, but they can still do some real damage in a fight. They have bonus damage to undead plus 12% and physical damage reduction plus 1,536, and their card can be used for shoes. Last in this area is the Ragged Zombie. These zombies are lucky. Most zombies lose their hair, but these guys kept their full head of bright red hair to shock their enemies. They have magical attack plus 16%, and their cards can be used for headgear. In our last area of the Ghost Canyon, we have the Dullahan. Beware of the Purple Knight. Their bodies were overtaken by evil spirits, and now they roam the canyons looking for their next prey. They have magical damage bonus plus 1,920 and PvP magical damage bonus plus 240, and their card can be used for weapons. the gibbet. These trees have come to life. Beware, or you might be the next one hanging from their branches. They have bonus damage to water attribute monsters plus 12%, and bonus damage to holy attribute monsters plus 12%, and their card can be used for accessories. Last up in this area, we have the Bloody Murderer. With a blade like that, they can't be anything but bad news. They have crit damage bonus plus 16% and physical lifesteal plus 8%, and their card can be used for weapons. Those are all the normal monsters that you'll see running about normally in Umbala, but now we're gonna go on to the mini bosses. First up in our mini bosses is the Coelacanth, a skeleton of a fish. It looks like some piranhas got to this guy, but he somehow survived the attack and just wanders around without flesh. For the day card, it can be used for weapons, his night card can be used for headgear, and his void cards can be used for accessories. Our next mini boss and last mini boss of this area is the Nat Siger. Looks like a big brother of the Flame Skull monsters from the Nameless Island, but this guy kept the rest of his body. His day card can be used for accessories, the night card for weapons, and the void card for weapons as well. We also have some new MVPs in this area. We have the Fallen Bishop Hybrum. The frustration of carrying this ghoul-like demon on his back is shown in this monster. He seems to be overtaken by it. His day card is used for headgear, his night card is used for shoes, and his void card for headgear. Our last MVP is Lord of Death. This knight from ages past has withered away, but his spirit still seeks after its enemies. His day card can be used for cloaks, night card for weapons, and void card for armor. We also have a new instance monster, Beelzebub. This bee creature is quite grotesque. Make sure you're prepared before you face him. His day card can be used for weapons and the void card for accessories. Along with the new map to explore and the new monsters to face, Umbala also brings with it new items to uncover. For smelting level 10, we have all kinds of new items for new creations. Be sure to check out the abilities and strengths that these new items can give you. There are also new items for fishing level 10. Be sure to explore the depths of our new fishing spots, as there are many new sea creatures to find. For mining level 12, we have one new item to uncover. Have fun digging. For gardening level 12, we also have some new plants. Enjoy planting and harvesting, and just make sure that you don't eat anything poisonous. We also have some new items in Gacha for level 120. On the next video, we will translate all the new items here with the weapons and accessories, but for today, we just wanted to give you an idea of what was new. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure as we explored Umbala together. I hope you get a chance to check out this new area of the map soon. For now, it's only on the Taiwan server, but it should be on its way to the C server soon. I hope you found this video helpful and that you enjoy exploring Umbala. Happy gaming, everyone!